Okay, here we are. We are heading out on an activity check. I'm all set up here. This is a little different than a lot of the videos that I do for the PI Guide channel here. But I've had a lot of people ask for me to do something a little different, so I thought I'd go ahead and I do something. We're actually going out on a discrete activity check on a neighborhood canvas, doing a little bit of surveillance. And I have my cover sheet here, and I always prepare a cover sheet when I go out on a case. My cover sheet, really quick, it has the claimant's name, their address. They live over in the western suburbs of the Denver metro area. Has her boyfriend's address as well. She may be living at this one house or maybe staying at her boyfriend's. I have a vehicle. I have some photographs of both of them. Some of the details from the client is to make no contact with the claimant or her boyfriend. I'm required to only identify myself as a representative of the client, nobody else. It has 4 different assignments in here, or tasks. Task 1, conduct a visit to the provided address, photograph the residence, photograph any vehicles at the residence, photograph a mailbox if possible. Task 2, conduct a neighborhood canvass, determine if any neighbors know the claimant, find out the name and phone number of any persons you speak with, ask if they know where she works, and ask if she has mentioned anything about moving. And then task 3, if she is not confirmed at the provided address, then I'm to conduct a visit to the boyfriend's address, photograph the residence, photograph any vehicles at the residence, photograph the mailbox if possible. And task 4, conduct a neighborhood canvass at the boyfriend's, determine if any neighbors know the claimant. So this is pretty typical. This is kind of assignment I get from some of my national firms. Complete all parts in one trip if possible to minimize travel costs, and then it gives me a time limit, tells me how many hours I will get paid plus my travel time. It has a due date on there, and then attachments or guidelines are attached to assist with this case. And then says some things about dress and stuff like that. So that's really typical. So I've got that. I've got my cover sheet. I've got my trusty surveillance camera here with me as well. I'm shooting this on my phone. And I have my remarkable tablet. And this is my writing tablet. It is my notebook. There's no notes on there. But this is called the remarkable tablet. And I'm going to leave a link down below to the site at freeprivateinvestigatortraining.com, which is the official webpage for the PI Guy, and I have a page on there with all my equipment. And I'm going to leave a link down below that'll have things like my camera on there and even the remarkable tablet. The remarkable tablet is fairly remarkable. I'll tell you what, it comes with a little pen stylus thing, but one of the things about this, and I know you can get iPads and different things like that you can write on with, but the remarkable tablet, one of the remarkable things about it is it feels like you're writing on paper. And I use this. I got rid of my Lego pads years ago and I bought one of these. They are a bit pricey, but it's well worth it to me because I can organize everything. I can access it on my phone. I can access it on my computer in the office or on my laptop, wherever I need. I can access all my notes. I can pull PDFs in and I can mark up those, write on those, but it feels like I'm writing on paper. But one of the really cool things about this is it doesn't have anything like a clock on it. It doesn't have email. It doesn't have messages. So when I'm working on my tablet, when I'm writing notes, when I'm working on things, I have no interruptions. So I really, really enjoy that. So anyway, we're going to get heading out. We've got about an hour's worth of drive looking at the GPS to get over there. And then when I get there, I'll do another little recording giving you an update of what's going on and stuff like that. Okay? We'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, here we are leaving again, and now I'm doing this because it's real life. This is what's really involved in the life of a surveillance private investigator. As I was getting ready to leave, I got a phone call. It was a client on another matter on a large case. I needed to take that call to make sure that I got the case, and we did get the contract. And so that's just part of life as a private investigator. You're going to have interruptions from time to time that you're going to have to deal with. Now, it was actually a good thing too, because I remembered then I needed to clean some windows off and I needed to get some fuel, so I stopped to do that. Now, if I was on a dead timeline, so if you have a case and you have to be out there at 7 a.m. and it's going to take you an hour and you're leaving your house at 6 a.m., you don't have a lot of time to stop and chit chat with clients. You can do it while you're driving or something if you need to. And you should probably have your gas and your windows cleaned the night before. But I've got all that, and now we are on our way. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, well, we made it on scene here. There's quite a bit of activity in the area. I'm actually parked over by an elementary school or a middle school that's just a few blocks down the road, which is good to notate to the client, because one of the things they want to know is if surveillance is able to be established here. And something good to know if you're going to go out on a surveillance is if there's a school close by. So I'm going to pull up my camera here, and what I do is I have it on this tripod, and I just use the tripod like a monopod. So I'm shooting down the street here. I'm not shooting at the subject's house. I'm a ways down, but I'm zooming in. Hopefully I can get this video up on the actual video for you to be able to see. So I hold the tripod on my leg or on my seat and use it as a monopod, so I can zoom in and zoom out and see everything that I need to be able to see. So one of the things that I have to do is go down and do a neighborhood canvas. So I am going to go do that, and I'm going to take my trusty little spy cam that I have right here, and it's a handheld camera and an iPhone, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to knock on some doors in the neighborhood and see what's going on. So what this is, let me show you. I'm going to take this apart. What this is I have an actual iPhone, and I have the case, which is the camera for it. So this will work all by itself. These top two buttons, one of them is Wi-Fi and one of them is power. When I turn on the power, it automatically starts recording. So I can turn on the power and then just point down the street. Here, in fact, I will do that. I will just turn both of those on, and I will point down the street, and now it is shooting video down there, and hopefully I can give you that video as well. It's shooting the video down there because when you turn it on, it just automatically starts shooting video. Now I'll show you. I'm going to pop it back into the case, the iPhone. It just pops right into the case. It's really easy. And then I'm going to show you how it connects to it. It's just a regular iPhone. I am going to go into the settings, and if I go into the settings here, when I go to Wi-Fi, I will see on here the Wi-Fi that's on the camera. It is actually has its own Wi-Fi signal, so I connect to it, and it is connected. And then I use this program down here. It's called PV Cam Viewer, and I turn that on, and then when I go in here, I can go right into the settings here, and I can see what it is actually shooting video of. So you probably just see the roof of my camera if you saw it right now. And you'll notate that there is a red light on there notating that it is recording. I can stop the recording with the software right there. I can start the recording up, and that's what I usually do when I'm out using it as a camera. I'll hit the record, and then of course I can just point it and I'll grab some more video, and now I'm using it as this. This is great when I do drive-bys because I can just hold this up against the side window as I'm doing a drive-by, and it's going to grab the residents that I'm driving by, any vehicles that I'm driving by, everything like that. I'll even set it on my dash pointing forward sometimes, so it acts sort of like a dash camera, and I can reach across all the way over to my right and shoot out the side window as well, and it's going to get video. So I'm going to go do some door knocks now, and I'm going to take this with me, and this does record audio as well. Here in Colorado, we can record audio as long as we're not working for an attorney, and I am not working for an attorney. So I can record audio as long as I'm not working for an attorney and I am part of the conversation. So I'll be able to just talk to some of the neighbors, trying to find out whether our subject does reside there. Now, I did see a vehicle there that was potentially related to her, so we're going to find out if that is. And I'll be back in a bit. Okay, well, we made it to the boyfriend's house here. It's a little bit different of a neighborhood. In fact, it is, I'm going to take a shot out my side window so you can see here. It is so far west here, it is literally sitting on the side of a mountain. The roads are very hilly. It's definitely in the foothills. The roads are very hilly. I would put it akin to like driving through the San Francisco area. Very, very hilly, very difficult. If it was snowy or icy, it would be very hard here to conduct surveillance. Not impossible, but you definitely have to have a good four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. And you'd probably have to have that just so you didn't stand out in the neighborhood. I went by the residence and I saw no vehicles associated with our subject. In fact, I couldn't even identify a vehicle associated with the boyfriend's residence. There's nothing parked in front there outside of an old rundown motorcycle, and it actually could be the next door neighbors. But I did get a little bit of video with my trusty spy cam with the iPhone Lawmate iPhone spy cam. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to knock on some doors here, and we're going to see if anybody knows anything about these folks. Well, I'm pretty much done with my neighborhood canvas here. I'm going to drive around a little bit. I'm just looking to see if there's any potentially good spots to conduct surveillance. I found a couple. I did find a vehicle associated with the residence, and not associated with our subject, but it was parked off of an alleyway out back that I found while I was doing my neighborhood canvas. Nobody really willing to talk to me here. This is a lot of rentals, a lot of college kids, things like that. So nobody was really willing to do a lot of talking here. But hey, it's what it is. I do believe she's probably associated with the provided residence, even though I was a little skeptical when I looked at that, because the data report that they gave us, the database report, showed her associated with that address 1 month last year. And I think it was like March or April, something like that, May. You know, so it just said 05 2021 to 05 2021. We call that a 1 month hit. And that's not always valuable. But there is another vehicle there that's from the state that she's from, that's parked across the street, and it doesn't make any sense that it would be associated with the house there, because the house there is actually, that'd be the side of the house for the other street. So she's probably associated with that. But this one is going to be a wrap for now, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of live video here while we're out on a surveillance or on an activity check. And that's about what this is. And heading back to the office, and then we can start the fun stuff, pulling the video, pulling our stills, writing up the report, getting it off to the client, and sending them an invoice. Oh, and by the way, while I was driving over from the other house, and it's only about a 15-minute drive, but when I was driving from her house over to her boyfriend's residence, I literally got one more phone call. So in this short period of time of less than an hour and a half, 2 hours, I've got 3 calls that I've answered, and 2 of those are real high possibilities of getting those cases. One of them, it's a so we may get it, but it kind of goes along with what I always say. If you're going to be in the private investigation business, you have to answer the phone when it rings, folks. I have had 7 calls all week. It's been really slow. It's that time of the year. I've had 7 phone calls all week, 3 of them today, and I know I got 2 big cases that will be enough revenue for the month for me when I get those cases. So that's another one of those tips I always give you. When the phone rings, answer it, because had they left a message, the next thing they would have done is called somebody else, and chances are whoever they talked to that closed the sale was going to get it. And I did check my email, and I did have information from one of those clients already, so I know I'm getting that one. When I get back, I get to write up this report, and then I get to write that client a contract. Okay? Hey, talk to you guys later.